Hi folks, so let's continue our journey on circles, right? Round and round. It's a lovely evening today and all the crows are cawing. They're just going back to, I think, wherever they take a nap. Okay, cool. So far, just a quick recap. We've looked at various parts of a circle. We've defined things like the arc, chord, secant, tangent, sector, segment, right? And after that, in part 2, we looked at how congruent arcs make equal central angles and congruent arcs contain equal chords and vice versa, equal chords contain equal arcs. So moving on, now we will look at those specific properties about a chord, right? And you'll find the application of these theorems interesting. Let's jump in. So we have a circle, okay, and we have a chord. A chord is nothing but a line segment whose end points are on the circumference of a circle. If AB were not a line segment, but if AB were a line, then you know that it becomes a secant. Cool? Okay. So let's say we have a chord AB and we have the center of the circle here as O. Okay. If we were to draw a line, let's call it OD, that is perpendicular to the chord, okay, then what can we arrive at? Okay, what is the outcome of drawing a line that is perpendicular from the center to the chord? Okay, now let's pause here for a minute and understand what do we mean by the word distance, okay, in geometry. Cool. So in geometry, when we use the word distance, we actually mean the shortest distance. What is it? The shortest distance, okay, from a point to a line, to a line. So let's look at a scenario where we have a point C, okay, and we have a line segment for that matter, line segment ST. Okay. Now, of all the ways that you can connect this point to the line ST, right, there are many ways. Of all those ways, one will lead to the shortest distance between these two. Let's figure that out. So one is this, you connect CS, sorry, then you connect to another point like this, then something like this. Okay, there are many ways. There are infinite ways in which you can connect this point to the line. I'm not talking about the endpoints, but to the line per se. When you do this, you will observe that of all these points, let me call them something U, V, W. Of all these points from where C is joined to the line, you'll see that there is going to be one line that is shortest. Okay, this one for now. Clearly CS, UC, WC, TC, etc. are all greater in length than CV. Okay, so you'll observe that if you were to pick this shortest distance, then this line CV will be perpendicular to the line ST. Okay, so this is just something that you should know when we use the word distance. Okay, cool. Let's get back. Oops, let me just mark the points again. AB was the chord. So this theorem, okay, is about what happens when you have a line that is perpendicular from the center to the chord. Then what happens to the chord? Okay, let's check that out. Let's join OA and OB. Now, what can you say about the triangles OAD and triangle OBD? Okay, so let me just clearly write down all that is given because that's important. You have a chord AB And you also have a line OD that is perpendicular to the chord AB, right? And before even all of this, we have O as the center of the circle. O is the center of the circle. So when you draw such a line and then you connect the end points of the chord to the center, what happens to these two triangles? Now you can observe that OA and OB are the radii of the same circle, so they're definitely equal. Am I right? And then if angle ODB is 90, then even angle ODA is 90. Right, guys? So shall we list that down? OA is equal to OB, okay? And angle ODA is equal to angle ODB. Okay, this is because it is the radii. This is given. It's given that OD is perpendicular to AB. What about OD in itself? Guys, it's common, so OD is equal. It's a common side. So which postulate can you use here to prove that OAD is congruent to OBD? Isn't it RHS, right? Right angle, hypotenuse, and one side. Therefore, by RHS criteria, we have that these two triangles are congruent. Triangle OAD is congruent to triangle OBD. Okay. Once that is established, what about the corresponding paths, right? We've seen that once you prove two triangles are congruent, the fact that they overlap, the corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent by CP/CTC. We know that AD now becomes equal to BD, right? AD is equal to BD. What does that indicate? It indicates the fact that this particular line OD has bisected the line AB or the chord AB into two equal parts. Hence, guys, this theorem, right, is all about proving the fact that a line drawn from the center of the circle, right, from the center of the circle, perpendicular to the chord, bisects the chord. Okay, to prove OD bisects AB or AD is equal to BD. I'm not writing the theorem up front because we just start with, trying to observe what's happening and then we conclude it. So let me write the theorem below here in blue, okay? A line from the center of the circle and perpendicular to the chord and perpendicular to the chord. Okay, I'm just making some adjustments here because I've run out of space. Perpendicular to the chord, comma, bisects the chord. Right? See, if you were to draw this line anywhere, which is not the center, guys, it's not going to bisect. So let's take a chord like this. You have the center here. Okay, if instead of choosing to draw a line perpendicular from the center, if you chose to draw, sorry, my circles are really not beautiful circles. Nonetheless, you have a chord, you have a center, but you're not drawing a line perpendicular from the center. Let's say you're picking some random point and you're drawing a perpendicular from there. Obviously, this is not bisecting the chord. So the key here is that you pick the center and you draw a line perpendicular to the chord. Easy. So what you do now is just pause the video and try and prove this all by yourself. It's very, very simple. Cool? Okay. Now what we'll do, oops, hold on a sec. Yes. Now what we'll do is we'll look at the converse of this, right? What do we mean by converse of a given theorem? Now, if you have a theorem is a statement which needs proof, right? A mathematical statement that needs proof. So in the first theorem, if you had certain fact that was given and there was something you needed to prove, when you talk about the converse of a theorem, you know that these two get interchanged, which means what is given you need to prove, and what is to be proved becomes given. Let's look at it. So in the theorem that we just proved, it was given that O is the center. You had a line from the center. You have a line from the center and perpendicular to the chord, right? And the outcome or to prove was that this line, which line, whatever we're talking about in given, this line bisects the chord. Am I right? Bisects the chord. Now what about the converse of this, guys? Let's interchange. To prove becomes given and given becomes to prove. What do we mean by that? Okay, so now you will begin with the fact that there is a line from the center, and this line, comma, and this line is bisecting the chord. Okay, then you observe that, or you need to prove that this line is indeed perpendicular. This line is perpendicular to the chord. Okay, now bear in mind that it's not necessary that if a theorem holds, when we use the word holds, we mean if a theorem is true, because you've proven it, it's not always necessary that the converse also is true. There are places where the converse is not true. So that's why it's not sufficient that you just prove that a theorem it holds. You have to check whether the converse holds. Okay, so can I request folks to try it on their own for this? Okay, can you pause the video and try this? Okay, let's, I hope you've paused and tried. Let's mark the center O. We have the chord AB of the circle. And right now, we just have a line OD that bisects the chord. We begin our story from here, right, guys? For the converse, now we are talking about the converse, okay? For the converse, all that we know is O is the center of the circle, and the line OD bisects the chord AB. I know I'm not writing it as well. I love the blackboard and the chalk. Somehow on the stylus, my handwriting is all over the place. Okay. So this is given. What do we have to prove? Shall we prove that OD, or we'll check before even we say prove or arrive at conclusions. Let's check what's happening here. So let's join OA and OB as usual. Guys, do you observe that OA and OB are radii of the same circle? So they're equal. Now, what can you say about triangles OAD, OAD, and triangle OBD? Okay, here you see all three sides are equal. So OA is equal to OB. It is the radii. Then you have AD is equal to BD. Why, guys? Because it's given. We started with the fact there exists a line from the center that's bisecting the chord. So we're using that. And the line OD is common to both the triangles, right? So by the SSS criteria, right? This is something you all have studied. By SSS criteria, triangle OAD is congruent to triangle OBD. Cool, it's very simple now. Fine, we've reached at all of this, but what do we need to prove? We really want to check if OD is perpendicular to AB, right? Right, guys? So let's look at this angle. You have this angle here, right? I'll mark this angle by CPCTC. These two angles should be equal, right? What is CPCTC? Congruent parts, sorry, corresponding parts, my bad. Corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent by CPCTC. Angle ODA should be equal to angle ODP. Am I right? Otherwise, these two triangles won't overlap. So if these two angles are equal, right, keep this aside for a minute. And AB, what is AB, guys? AB is a chord. We know that a chord is a line segment, right? Now, if you have two angles, let me continue here. You have two angles with the same vertex. What is the vertex in this case? D. We have two angles with the same vertex D, and they lie on the same straight line, same line or line segment in this case. Then, okay, and these two angles are equal, and these two angles are equal, then they are complementary, which means, sorry, they're supplementary. They add up to 180. So if you indeed added up ODA and ODB, then they should form a straight angle because they are on the same straight line and they're equal. So let's say each angle is X, right, guys? So 2X is 180. What does this mean? This implies that X is 90, or in other words, all that it implies is OD is perpendicular to the chord AB. So we have kind of observed that the converse of the theorem is also true. So we need to prove that the line OD is perpendicular to the chord AB. This is the converse of the theorem. If there is a line from the center that bisects the chord, then this line is perpendicular to the chord. Okay, if you understand what's happening, you can always frame the sentences accordingly and write the statement of the theorem. Okay, so what we shall do now is we shall look at a small quiz where we apply the two theorems that we studied about chords of circles. Okay.